Videotaping, I think that just did. Okay, sorry.
All right, so
Part two.
melting the butter.
Melting the butter, about a half a stick. Jeff said he didn't have a half a stick, so he added a little olive oil, but he prefers just all butter.
You just use a little butter or olive oil. I usually put a little olive oil in, but that's me. So
All right, don't complicate it.
it's your choice.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm gonna go with maybe
We don't know how much that is. That's just our scooper.
scooper. Well, it does. It has
What does it
some
say?
measurement on it. Yeah, it's just the scooper that's in here. You just throw enough flour in. It's really the consistency of the roux. When you get the consistency of what you want in it. As the butter melts and as the oil melts, we're just trying to get it to a certain consistency. And we're not trying to cook it here. We're just trying to get some of the rawness out of the flour. So make it clear right now. This is too dry.
But the butter hasn't melted yet, but
Oh.
almost.
This is too dry. All right.
Okay.
As I threw 2 scoops in. This is
Probably
too
need
dry.
a little less.
Well, not really. I mean, I'm going to put 3 cups of liquid in, so it's probably,
And I'll just drizzle a little bit of oil to make it moister.
I want it. And you don't have to do it in a pan. You can do it in a pot. My pot is not big enough, so that's why I do it in this. That's why I do it in this. So
That looks good. Looks kind of wet.
this is about the consistency that you want of the flour.
Yeah.
And you're not really making a roux. We're just going to let it cook for a little bit. All right.
Yeah, it looks a little gluey, so that's probably good consistency.
And then I'm going to add 3 cups of liquid.
Then he's adding 3 cups of liquid.
In this case, I'm going to add a cup and a half of half and half. Oh, wait, 2 cups.
What do
of
you
half
usually
and
use?
half.
Whole milk?
Yes.
We don't have whole milk, so
better.
he's using my half and half.
I'll add a half a cup of water to it, so it's too thick, and I'll thin it out. And then I add, because it's a bechamel, I like the taste of white wine, so I add white wine to mine, which is half a cup. And then
So it's a total how much cups of liquid?
Yeah, about 3 cups.
3 cups of liquid in
I
total.
mean, I guess you're on the recipe, so I mean, she has it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
We're
about
just
3
trying to
cups of
show you
liquid.
the.
All right, so this is just cooking out the rawness in the flour. All right, you don't have to. I'm not trying to put any color on this. So there you go. That's that. And then we're going to add liquid to it. Okay, and then it just becomes a stirring exercise. Okay, so now it's on, pretty much medium. I'm not trying to, super cook it. So now all the flour supposedly has the oil around it, so it won't stick together. I'm just going to keep working it, and then you're just going to try to do it till you get it to a thickness, consistency.
So as it heats, it should melt out the lumpies.
Well, you're going to whisk out the lumpies.
Oh.
You're going to whip that out with your whisk. The heat has nothing to do with it. The heat is going to thicken it. You got to whisk it out. You got to make sure. Again, I'm using a pan here, so because my pot is not as big as I'd like, but it works better in a pan.
Oh, when it's deeper, yeah.
Right.
Like a saucepan or something.
Right. I'm trying something a little different here because I want to dump all the macaroni in here. But if you do it in a pot, you can dump the cheese sauce and the macaroni into a pot. I'm going to dump the macaroni into here. So I'm going to try stuff.
So I don't see too many lumpies floating around now.
No, because when the flour is all covered with oil and butter, they don't stick together. So you're not going to have it's not going to get too lumpy. You just have to let it, like I said, cook down a little bit.
So is this getting a little thicker?
No.
No.
Still, it'll get thicker as you start boiling, or you start, as the heating of the milk or the liquid. So this is not. You just keep mixing it because you don't want to, But this is not the thickness I like. And then again, if you do it and you get it to, and you don't add the cheese you add off heat. So once I get it to the right thickness, I turn the heat off, and then you just whisk in the cheese.
Okay.
And that becomes your sauce, and then you can put in, again, you can taste it, salt and pepper, whatever you like. So it's starting to thicken a little, but not where I want it. All right. Once it starts to bubble a little bit, you'll see it start to thicken. It'll thicken fast, and if it gets too thick really fast, just add some water.
Just add, that's the secret, okay.
If it's thicker than you want it, just add some water. I mean, also, when you put the pasta in, make sure the pasta has water. So it's starting to thicken now, as you can see.
Yeah.
All right. So it's thickening as the milk gets hot.
But it's a very slow process. It's not a quick heat and get
Well, you don't want it
super
too.
thick,
You don't want
right.
it too hot because it'll burn the flour and burn the. So see, it's thickening now, as you can see. And then, you know, I think it needs to be thicker than that. You know, again, if you wanted to add salt and pepper, or pepper, ground peppers, no one else does. I like lots of peppers.
Yeah, okay.
It's my mac and cheese, so squeeze all. So now you can see it's getting thick.
Oh, yeah.
Still not where I want it. Almost, not quite. Alright, so now it's
See, it's getting a little soupy. I could see that.
fine. And this will happen fast now.
Yes,
So now it'll.
that's why you got to be careful.
But it, because you just add water. So once you I mean, that's not a big deal. So this is about, how I would do it, and now I would shut the heat off, and then I would start adding handfuls of cheese and just whisk the cheese. So just it's over here, and I use half of. This is almost a pound of cheese.
Almost a pound of cheese.
I save some for the top, but effectively I put it over. And so now, again, it's off heat.
Right, so the heat is off, and with our stovetop, it's not hot.
It's still hot
so-
enough that it'll melt.
Yeah.
Melt the cheese. So you just whisk the cheese in.
But you might want to, if you have a regular electric, you might want to just take it totally off the burner.
Yeah, I would take it off the burner.
Because otherwise it will still stay hot.
Right.
Our induction doesn't, so.
It goes off immediately, and there's no, I just keep whisking the cheese in.
It's boiling.
Put the elbows in place. Well, give me the elbows up in there.
Here you go, I got it. One hand wonder. Pound of elbow macaronis going in. Okay, it's splattering me. Okay.
Left there. I guess I'm gonna need that much on the top, so I'm gonna make two because I like lots of Krispies. And
Yeah,
like I
that's
said,
good.
it was about a pound. I think that wedge is.
It's gotta be a pound.
It's 2 pounds.
2 pounds.
So I used half of it.
Oh, so you used half of it, so it's 1 pound of cheese we put in there. Okay. You
That
did?
wedge is about
Okay.
2 pounds. I said 1 pound.
Yes, you did.
And I leave just a little amount to sprinkle on top when I put it into bake. So this is a good consistency, and then when I put the pasta in, the pasta will have water, so it'll thin out a bit. So this is a good consistency for the cheese sauce. I'll put a little more in, and that's it. So out of that whole pound of cheese, I probably put 3/4 in, and I'd leave a quarter,
Yeah,
of it.
that's what he's got on the side here.
And there's a quarter of it for sprinkling on top with breadcrumbs and all kinds, with breadcrumbs. And that's it. So this is done. All right.
Okay, we don't need to do the next phase.
Easy peasy.
All right, so now we're signing off on this one.
All right. That's it. If you can't do the other phases, then you really shouldn't be in the kitchen.